Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Making Online Easy show. This is the Roofers Edition. My name is Esteban Baez, and together with Frankie Soroka, today we're going to be sharing a very special topic. We're going to be discussing the 5 common mistakes roofers make when hiring an SEO marketing agency. Hey, Frankie, how's it going, bro?
What's going on, Esteban? This has been one of the most requested. I feel at least something I hear a lot about. I hear this a lot. Very common topic here. So yeah, I'm excited. We're gonna definitely bust some myths out here, so it's gonna be good.
Yeah, we're going to break it down. Today is a very special topic because everybody needs marketing. If you own a roofing company and you don't market your company, eventually word of mouth dies. So you need to have a pipeline, and you want to build, always have that pipeline full of your next people that you're servicing. Otherwise, you will eventually see a drop in your monthly recurring revenue, right? In your monthly revenue. So, so this podcast is for you. If you are a roofer, if you own a roofing company, if you do roofing services, whether you do residential, commercial, it doesn't matter. If you're looking to scale, if you're stuck at 4 or 5 figures and you're looking to grow your business to 6 and 7 figures, this podcast is for you. So you want to listen in on today's message. So let's go ahead and start, brother. Let's do it.
Let's get into it. So action packed, 5 common mistakes. So let's go ahead and begin with the first mistake, which is only doing blog posts on your website. Oh wow, what a way to start. So we're again just to remind everybody, we're talking about mistakes when hiring an SEO marketing company, right? So like Esteban said, you need marketing. SEO is one of those marketings. It's one of the things that we, specialize in the most here. So we know exactly what are the do's and don'ts. Okay, and whether you know about SEO or not, one thing that you can that you can be certain of is content is big part of SEO. Big part of SEO. However, you don't want to be mistaken or tricked, or to be a fool with someone saying something like, oh yeah, look, we're going to do a blog post, we're going to dominate you for SEO by just doing blog posts, right? Or like whenever you go look at what they're doing, they're just doing blog posts. Like if that's what you're receiving, then that is an SEO mistake. That is something you gotta immediately make a decision on. What exactly are they doing? If they're saying they're doing SEO and that's all they're doing, then that's not SEO, right? I'm telling you right now that there's no way. That is one part of SEO, and people can abuse that and use that to the people that are not informed and tell them that they're doing SEO. And if you don't know any better, then of course you might think that it is SEO, but the truth of the matter is it's not. This is one very small, tiny aspect of SEO. It is something that could help, but I'll tell you right here, right now. Okay, we've had dozens of clients, first page rankings, amazing results, not one blog post. Okay, not even one. So it's not a mandatory thing. You don't need it to succeed, but it will help you. It's basically part of a content marketing strategy, which is another asset and another strategy you can add to your SEO to help complement it, but it's not part of critical SEO, right? So I just wanted to start off with that, Steban. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, and I just want to say, for those people that don't know what SEO is, it's a term because even still to this day, we've come across roofers, you and I, Frankie, where we
Yeah,
ask them, "Do you know what we do is SEO?" And they say, "What's that? What is that? I don't know what that
yeah.
is."
Still to
Right?
this day, yeah.
Still to this day, 2022. So what that means is search engine optimization. What that means is that when someone puts in your related keywords, such as roofer in XY city, or the different types of repairs, roofing repairs that you do, when someone is typing in maybe roof repair leak in XYZ city, you know when they type that keyword and they hit enter, what comes up is a whole bunch of listings. And we call that rankings, right? And if you're not showing up when people put in your related keywords, then you don't have SEO, right? You're not optimized, right? You're not search engine optimized. You're basically on page two or beyond, right? And the joke in SEO is always, where's the what is it? What's the best place to hide a body? What is it that they say?
Yeah. Where's the best place to hide a dead body? On the second page of Google.
So that's the joke because nobody really goes to the second page, right? Unless they're doing intense research, on a topic. But usually people start clicking away and they start calling from the people that are already on the first page, right? So that's what SEO is. I just wanted to emphasize that SEO is to optimize your brand, your business, so that when people type in either your company name or the owner's name or the services that you provide as a roofer, right? That you show up on the first page. So what Frankie said was only doing blog posts on your website doesn't do that, right? And there's a lot of companies out there calling themselves SEO companies, and what they really are, they're web developers, and they're just uh, delivering content for your website, which helps your search engine optimization, but it's not a complete strategy. So it's a mistake if you're thinking that they're going to hire you for SEO, because that they're going to give you a proper SEO experience, right? Because they're leaving a lot on the table.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, like there's people that just don't know better. So, it happens all the time. It happens all the time. People, get, and this is how SEO gets a bad rap, right? They start getting bad reputation because people do these kind of things, right? They start, abusing people's, unfortunate ignorance, just like we have ignorance on a lot of topics. So it's totally fine, but you just don't want people to take advantage. I don't think nobody does, and that's the number one thing I hear when I speak to roofers, that they just they don't want to be taken advantage of. They want to, like, and who does? Nobody does. So that's why we're here. That's why we want to educate you guys. That's why we want to make sure everybody is fully informed, so that way that never happens to you ever. And that's why we're doing this. So yeah. So anyway, so that was number one. That was a good way to set it off. So let's get into the second one, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right. So the
The
second
second
one.
mistake, the second mistake, roofers make when hiring an SEO company is only posting on social media channels. These are companies that only, they're basically, man, social media marketers, right? That's all they do. They're social media marketers disguised as an SEO service, right? Just
Yeah.
because something helps your SEO doesn't mean you're doing SEO, right? Because SEO, to really optimize yourself for search engines, it's a combination of everything. So if they're only picking one thing and it's calling that SEO, then that's the mistake. So this is a mistake. If you hired someone to do social media marketing and you're thinking, "Oh, I already have my SEO taken care of," that is not. That is, I'm sorry to say, that's wrong. That's not right, right? So that's all I got to say on that.
Yeah, no, you're right. And it's social media marketing. That's really all they're doing. That's not technically SEO. And one thing I will say about it is, like, social media profiles, creating them and establishing an entity and a brand online, you do need social media, and you need social media profiles, and you need to have accounts created. These things are part of the process, but that's where, like, it stops. Okay, you don't want to start getting into the social media marketing world, because that's a whole nother service. So if someone's telling you, hey, we're going to create your social profiles if you don't have any, or we're going to optimize them, that is true. That could be a thing now. But if they're saying that they're only posting on the social media channels, or even if they include that as part of their strategy, which I've seen this. So I've seen companies that have like a 8-step strategy, right? And then they have step one, we publish a blog post, which we already talked about. Step two, we're gonna put some keywords on your page. Step three, we're gonna post on your socials. Like, it's already starting to sound, like, what is this? Because if you don't know better, you're thinking, okay, I guess that's what SEO is. But we're telling you right now that posting on social media is not search engine optimization. Posting one blog post a month is not search engine optimization, right? Like, these are things that people confuse as search engine optimization. So the only thing that should be happening with social channels and SEO are that you should have them created. If you don't have them already, they need to be created. They need to be linked to your site and add that to build that entity, right? And they need to be optimized by putting the certain keywords inside of those social channels. That is also an SEO strategy, but it stops there. Okay, this posting stuff that we're talking about, that's not part of SEO. That's not something that you should be paying for as if it, like if you have an SEO bill, that shouldn't be one of the things on there, right? That's a whole nother service. So you just don't want to get confused and get caught up with, with
So
that
somebody
confusion.
might ask, Frankie, somebody might be thinking right now, so wait a minute. If I'm paying my social media marketing, then why do I need to post on social media then? Somebody might be saying that. What's your answer to that, Frankie?
If like, why would someone want to post on social media?
Yeah, why would I then post? Because I'm doing it as my SEO strategy. Why then if it doesn't help optimize my presence, then why am I posting?
So it's to communicate and get your message out there, right? It's a couple different ways. Like it's to get your message out there. And granted, yeah, it's not SEO, but if you have any likes or followers or people looking at your stuff, they have a chance of seeing your stuff. However, as you may or may not know, Facebook's organic reach and a lot of these things, organic reach has dropped down over the years because they want you to spend money on ads. So even though, yeah, there is going to be some people out there when you post, they're going to be able to see it. But the more important reason is because when people see an ad or when people look you up or when people want to see, if you're legit or, how established are you, they want to see if you have reviews or a community, you have stuff going on. Well, guess what they're going to do? They're going to look up your social media profiles. They're going to look up that's like the modern day resume, right? You have the website, of course, but that website is kind of like, like the visual. And of course, it's gonna be good if you know what you're doing. But social media is more of like the community, right? Like, what are other people saying about you? Like, if you and then if they go to your Facebook or your social media and it's dead, like you've never posted before, or you posted 5 years ago, and you know what I mean, like then of course they're gonna be like, oh, why would I call these guys? They're not alive. They're not. It's just basically like you're just basically telling them, hey, like we're out of touch. We're like basically out of business. Like that's what people comes to mind. They want somebody that's active. They want to see a company that's making moves, that they're hip, that they can trust, that if I have an issue and I reach out to them, I'm not going to hear from them for 5 years. So that's the real reason why, right? It's because it's going to complement the rest of your marketing. It's going to establish your brand and just make sure that you have the conversion side of things taken care of alongside with the traffic side of things.
Man, that's a perfect answer, bro. Couldn't have asked for a better answer than that. That was awesome. And we want to emphasize this is if they're only doing that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you're checking off the box of, okay, I'm doing SEO. If they're only doing that, no. You see, that's just a different strategy for what Frankie just said, right?
Yeah.
So I won't repeat it. So just go rewind this episode if you want to hear the answer. But that's basically it, man. I think we're ready to move to the third one, man.
That's
The
it.
third
Let's go.
mistake.
Third mistake, here we go, which is tracking traffic and not seeing an increase every single month.
Ooh.
This is a good one. This is a good one. So, I mean, it's exactly what it sounds like, guys. So, SEO, like Esteban spoke about what it is already, but just so you understand, it's not an overnight process, right? And that's the pros and cons, right? And we have an episode that I believe we talked about pros and cons of SEO and paid traffic. So, definitely check out that episode to learn more about it. But the whole point is it's not an overnight thing. It's not a get rich quick, or even though we love to get rich quick, but we're not talking about get rich quick, right? It's gonna take time. And all good things take time, guys. You know what I mean? Everything that's sustainable, that's gonna last a long time is there has to be a building process, a building, steps that have to take place. So with SEO, it's a wonderful thing and it takes time, right? So in order to gauge the results, because if you're not getting results immediately, then how do you gauge success? How do you know this is even working? The way that you know is by tracking the traffic and seeing an increase every single month. Because at the end of the day, search engine optimization, the goal of search engine optimization is to get more traffic to your site, right? That's why. And then there's a ricochet of waterfall effects that happen from that result, right? Like phone calls and leads and all that. But it all starts with the traffic. If we're not getting traffic to the website or to the Google My Business listing, then all the other stuff doesn't even happen. So we have to get to the main concern first, which is traffic. So if we know that traffic is the thing that needs to be the first thing to trigger all these other things, then we need to be tracking that traffic, right? And alongside tracking that traffic, we can break it down even more. How do you get the traffic? Keywords, rankings, right? So we should be tracking the keywords and the rankings, right? So that is also, if you really want to get even deeper, that's another thing that you should be tracking. And every good, successful SEO marketing agency should be sending you at a bare minimum monthly reports with your rank tracking and your traffic. We do weekly. We send weekly reports to our clients. We want them to be fully in the now of what's going on. And we send them monthly. We send them weekly and monthly. But, at least any good SEO company will send them at least a monthly report talking about the traffic, and that is your opportunity to review and make sure that it's going up every single month. Now, it might not go up a huge amount, but as long as it's going up something, and to be fair, there's sometimes when there is a bit of a dip, like it's especially in the beginning, there's a little bit of they call it the Google dance, where you rank and then you kind of bounce out, you bounce in and out, because you're doing so much to the site that Google wasn't used to it. So now Google's got to see where does it fit you into the index. So it's going to be a little bit of fluctuation in the beginning, but after that, it starts to settle. And when it settles, you should be seeing month after month increases of your traffic.
Exactly. Good. So it's important for you to be receiving reports. If you've already hired a company to do SEO for you and you're not getting a report, that's a big mistake that you're making when hiring them. So you need to ask, hey, do you guys do a report? How often do you guys do these reports? And if you're not reading the reports and they're sending them to you, then that's a mistake on you, right? You want to know, you want to understand the data. So if it's too complicated of a report, then that's also, I think, a big mistake. The report should be made so that you can understand what is happening, right? So
100%.
that's my only feedback on reporting. Reports you should be able to understand the report. It should be friendly for you to read it and for you to see the increase easily, so
Yeah.
you don't have to dig and add and do your own things with the report they're giving you. That should already be done for you, and you should be able to see all the relative data and know that that is increasing, right? There are stages to this, like Frankie said. The Google dance, there's times where it will fluctuate, but there should be an upward spiral of traffic.
100%. And just to also mention, we do have another episode where we talk about the three most important metrics that every roofing company should be tracking. So all of those metrics that we talk about in that episode should be in those reports. If it's not in those
Yeah.
reports, I would directly speak with that SEO company and demand to have those things on your report, because it's your money, you're the one investing in it. You deserve to know those very important metrics. And if you haven't seen that episode, great little segue to go make sure you watch those episodes. We're not going to get into it here because I
Yes.
want you guys to go make sure you get all that insight that we shared with you
Right.
guys. So
Right.
awesome. So that's number 3. Let's go ahead and dive into number 4 now,
To number 4.
which is
Ooh.
having no case studies or testimonials. All right. So this is a good one. Should I get started or you want to start it off?
I got something to say about this, because this is, I listen, everybody has to start somewhere, right? So just make sure that you know who you're doing business with. That's it. If it's somebody new that you're hiring, that they're telling you that they're new at this and they're just trying to land their first few clients, they're not going to have any testimonies or case studies, right? So, but they could sincerely be really good at it. They've studied the topic, they've consumed a lot of the information, and they've tested out a lot of things on their own. So just remember that you need to know who you're hiring when hiring an SEO company, and how much. I think experience is important, but the most important thing is results, right?
Yeah.
Because you could be experienced at doing something, but that doesn't mean that you produce results, right? So I think experience is important, but results is more important than experience, right? Because this is a moving industry. This is a moving, it's constantly changing. SEO is constantly evolving, and you need someone that's in the know, someone that keeps current with all the changes. And that's why I love doing business with you, Frankie, because I know that you are constantly in the know, right? We invest a lot in our education when it comes to SEO. We go to all the, as many events as we could possibly attend.
Yeah.
We go to all of them, and we talk to the right people. We join the masterminds, and we invest a lot in keeping current with the industry. So make sure that they've taken the time to show you, case studies and previous testimonials, and make sure those are real. That's it.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. I mean, having that the ability, it's just like a lawyer, it's just like a doctor, right? Like you have to constantly be educating, and you have to constantly like renewing, your quote unquote license, right, or whatever. Like it's not something that you learn once and that's it, because there's just like in health, there's always new diseases and there's new vaccines and there's new this and that and the other. Just like in law, there's new laws that come out that you have to be aware of how to combat those in court and how to make sure you stay compliant. It's the same exact thing here with SEO. You got to stay compliant within Google's regulations. There's other search engines that are emerging all the time, right? Like how like there's just so many angles to it, and there's always something coming out. So it's 100% important that the person is on the pulse of what's happening, and the best way to know that is by having case studies or testimonials, right? That's the one way to really like solidify the fact, okay, this person knows what they're doing, and more importantly, have the ability to contact those people and really get like confirmation, and just really be able to get an exact example of somebody in a similar population area, similar, obviously same niche, but like everything. And you can see like, okay, this is pretty much very similar to my business, right? And you see the whole process when it's explained. So it gives you that peace of mind that, okay, like, this is not a rookie starting off. But I like what Steban said. That is a great point, that if you are dealing with that, like we're not saying that it's a terrible, like don't ever not deal with that, because sometimes they are really good. And one thing that, this is how I originally started years back, is I actually built my own sites and I ranked them and I proved the concept to myself first. And I used that as my case study, as the testimonials, right? So it wasn't for a client per se. I just did it for myself, but it still was a form of a case study, right? So if you have something like that, like you could still have people where they can show you the results and they can get results, and they might not have the testimonials because they're early on in their career, like I was, So it's very fair assessment to know that as well. It doesn't have to be someone with 100 testimonials, because that's another thing. That they may not be, like, those testimonials may be really outdated, or who knows, right? You don't just want to solely depend on that, right? That's why we're giving you multiple steps here, multiple
Right.
things, because you never know, right? Some of those testimonials you got to take it with a grain of salt sometimes, so
Yeah, it's true.
yeah, so that's the only thing we got to keep out.
A lot of scammers on the internet too. They come up with fake testimonials. So
Yeah, you just got to be careful, right? You
yeah,
just got to be careful. So that's
you
why I'm saying we're
gotta
giving
be
you
careful.
multiple things. We're giving you multiple here. So
Yeah.
awesome. So let's get into the
So
last one. What do you think?
let's do it, bro.
Let's
Let's do
go.
it.
Let's go. Number 5 is gonna be
Boom. Only focusing on organic links. Go
and
ahead,
not
man.
maps. Yep. Yep.
Yes.
So this is a good
Yeah.
one. This is a good one. So yeah. So basically, this is essentially what we're referring to, is there's the maps and then there's the organic side of SEO, right? So there's two areas. There's actually three areas. There's the ads, and then there's the maps, and then there's the organic. Okay. In this example, we're talking about the organic and the maps. We're not talking about the ads. So you want to make sure the SEO company that you work with is doing the organic side and also doing the maps, right? Because that's essentially what SEO is. SEO is not one or the other. SEO is both, right? And it
Right.
depends who you speak to. Some people might not feel that same way. So you want to make sure that you're working with a company that does both. We operate on both areas, right? Because both areas are going to give you a ton of business, right? And to be granted, maps is going to give you more. So you want to make sure that that's 100% focused on. but you don't want to neglect organic, right? You just don't. Like this just it's just there's tons of traffic that happen through organic, and not to mention like maps bait works off a radius, right? But organic works off keywords. So you could find traffic from keywords that you may not hit on a radius level, but you can get from that level, right? And vice versa. So you just it's like why would you do one without the other, basically, you know? And if someone really knows what they're doing, like we do, in order to get a really successful maps strategy going, you want to have your website on point because your website and your maps communicate and they actually synergistically help each other out. So, someone that doesn't know that is going to think that it's just two totally separate things and they're going to charge it separately and all that. But in reality, they actually complement each other and it's in your best interest to do both than just do one or the other, so very important.
Yeah. Make sure that the company that you're seeking to hire can definitely deliver on the maps side of things, right? The maps and then the organic listings, right? So they got to deliver in both. If they deliver only in one, if you're only doing a map strategy, you can't do one without the other, in my opinion, Frankie. I think you gotta do them both. So
you have to.
yeah.
So just keep that in mind, right? SEO is not one or the other. Okay. When someone says SEO, you want to ask if they don't mention it, ask, what about the maps? What about the organic?
Exactly.
So very important, very important.
So let's recap, man. I think this is a good point to recap. So if there, here are the 5 common mistakes when hiring, an SEO marketing agency. So when roofers hire a marketing agency, now you're going to be equipped to know what to look for, right? If they're only doing blog posts on your website, that's not enough. If they're only posting on social media channels, that's not enough. That's just social media marketing, right? And blog post marketing on your website. If they're tracking, first of all, they got to deliver tracking. If they're not delivering tracking reports, then that's a huge no-no, right? So you got to get a report, and when you read the report, you got to see an increase in traffic every single month. If you're not seeing an increase in traffic to your properties, then that's a big no-no, big mistake, right? To keep paying the money, right? And then the last 2 is no case studies or testimonials. If you're going to hire a company, make sure that you do your due diligence. Make sure that you check them out. What are previous customers saying or current customers saying, and that they have case studies and testimonials. And then the last one is if they only focus on organic links and not the maps, right? This is a game that is played in both areas. It's maps and organic listings. So you want to make sure that they're not only talking maps, or they're not only talking, links. You want to make sure that they're integrating the strategies, that they know how to handle both the maps and the organic listings.
Perfect. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, guys. So there you go. You got 5 ready to go, actionable, things like a checklist that we gave you there. So make sure that you have these nearby, reference this, use this as your guide, and make sure you make those right decisions. And obviously, we are more than happy to help you, and we cross all these on our list. But get on a call with us. We're more than happy to go over in more detail how we fit the criteria. And even if you just use this as education to go find your own solutions, that's fine too. We're glad that we're able to, at least guide you in the right direction, because like we said in the beginning of the call, there's tons of, horror stories that we hear every day. And, we feel very strongly about that. And we want to make sure that, we're doing our best to serve our purpose and, and educating and doing the right thing, So yeah, I'm excited to keep sharing that.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching this conversation, watching our show, supporting it. If you really liked it and enjoyed it, if you're a roofer or if you know someone that's in roofing, please make sure you share this show with them and share the links. And wherever you are consuming this content, make sure you check out the description, because there's a link there for you to join either our mastermind. We have a Facebook group where we share, it's our roofing mastermind Facebook group.
Roofers only, yeah.
Yeah, for roofers only. And then we also have some free gifts that we give out. We have a powerful, checklist for your Google business. What is it? Google business
Your
listing, right?
profile, yeah, Google
Your
business listing
profile.
profile, yeah. Uh-huh.
Right. This list is powerful, and we're giving it out completely for free. So go ahead and download that and start implementing what we're teaching you on this show. Because if that's when you change your business, is when you implement.
Yeah.
Getting information is not going to change you. It's taking the information and then applying it in your business. That's what's going to grow and scale your business. So, guys, thank you so much for catching us on this episode. On the next episode, we're going to be discussing a very good topic. We don't have it figured out just yet, but stay tuned and make sure you check it out because it's going to be good.
That's right. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Hasta luego.